Hey, how's it going? AnarchyZombie here, playing The Walking Dead. I'll be bringing you some different game footage, and you'll be listening to my soothing voice talk over the top of it. Yeah, the game today is Walking Dead, based on the TV show, which is based on the comic book. Well, actually, this game's probably based off the comic book as well, but inspired by the TV show. What I understand about this game is that it's meant to bring some information that you might not have seen from the TV show or the comic, and give you a bit of an idea of some of the different characters' backgrounds and all that type of stuff, and overall just have some fun with zombies. The graphic style for the game is Borderlands-ish, very Borderlands-ish. Quite interesting indeed. Not many games use this style of graphic, but I liked it. I think they pulled it off. The game itself uses a mixture of gameplay styles such as multiple choice, and you can run around and do all that type of stuff. You can still do all that cool shit, but yeah, the main thing is multiple choice, because decisions you make in this game can affect later on in the episode or the other episodes as well. That's something as well. There are 5 episodes, only 3 have been released so far, and for the money you pay, which I'm pretty sure is about $25, that's for all the episodes. That's pretty good. It is a very large game. I will be squeezing a whole episode into one video, which is pretty amazing if you ask me, because they are long episodes. Very long. Yeah, I'll be really rushing through it though, like kind of skipping through to different parts. I'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on though, without giving away too many spoilers, of course. Yeah, so don't let the multiple choice that I told you about throw you off, because it is really interesting, because you have to think, every decision you make can affect later on. There are a lot of different style of multiple choice, from dialogue to actions to some more serious stuff that can really affect the gameplay. Yeah, so basically we'll get right into it. You play Lee, and you're probably wondering straight away, what's he doing in that police car? But yeah, he has a bit of a dark past about him that you don't find out about straight away. You have to, kind of play through the game a bit before you start picking up on stuff. And yes, that is a car crash. I don't think I've seen the inside of a car crash on many video games, and I have to say that won some respect points for me. Or maybe it's just that I'm a big zombie fan. But anyway, yeah, the show I think was brilliant. But we're not here to talk about the show, but it does throw a bit of an impact on. There are some characters in the game that are in the show. I won't tell you who. You can just wait and see. You might see a few of them in this episode. Who knows? If you like this episode, by the way, remember to like, subscribe, and let me know in a comment if you want me to do some more, maybe some more episodes or something. I can throw them off you. I'd be happy to do that. I can't say I've read too much of the Walking Dead comics so much, but it is my understanding, I think, that Lee and some other characters you'll meet in this game aren't actually in the comics or the TV show, but they do seem to throw a bit of an impact into it regardless. It is also it's a pretty small download for the size of the game, in my opinion. Obviously, every time a new episode's put up, you'll have to update the game and download another episode, but they're really not that big, and for the money you're paying, I think it's good. I'd recommend it, of course. I'll put the link in the description if you wanted to check it out, maybe give it a buy. I'm not getting paid to do that, but maybe I should be, but no, it's alright. And yeah, as you can see there, the actions, like the action multiple choices, come up as kind of sphere objects, and you can scroll through it. It would probably be different for console. I'm playing this on PC, so you just scroll through the options on with your mouse wheel, and you can either observe it or you can take action if the action allows it. And yeah, as I said, every action or bit of dialogue, or everything you do in this game does make an impact on the rest of the game. It'll even come up in the corner. You'll see later on, it says in the corner, you'll say something to someone and it'll come up, this person will remember this, something like that. So you really gotta, make your decisions carefully. Try and remember what you did in case it comes up later in the game. If you get accused a liar or something that I kind of do later on, and it can make the gameplay a bit harder. Maybe that's what you're after, but yeah, it's up to you anyway. As I said though, we'll be skipping through quite quickly. So we've moved forward a fair bit onto a farm, and one very important thing I should make note of is that Lee came across this little girl in a house. Sounds kind of seedy Steve. I found a little girl and I brought her with me. But no, seriously, he finds this little girl called Clementine. And her parents are dead. Obviously, she doesn't know it, but yeah, her parents are dead. And Lee thought he'd take her with him, so he could look after her. And they get pretty close through the episodes. So you'll have to keep that in mind. This kid here and his family, this kid Duck and his dad and his mum, Kenny and Kat, they play a pretty big part as well. But I suppose that depends on the decisions you make in the coming. The farm you're on here is, in fact, the Green Farm from the TV show. You might remember Herschel Green. Herschel looks a bit different in the game, but yeah, it's the same farm. It looks a bit different, but it is the same farm. Here you'll see the very first option to choose a life. You get to decide the fate of either the older boy, who is Herschel Green's son, I understand, or the younger boy, who is Kenny's son. I chose to save the young boy because A, it's a young boy, and B, Kenny is meant to be giving you the lift to the next location, so I figured if you let his son die, you'll probably be stuck on this farm or something like that. I didn't really want that to happen, so I chose the boy. But yeah, it does make a huge impact through every other episode. I know I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but it's the most interesting characteristic about this game, in my opinion. I haven't seen many other games use that. I think it's obvious that a bit more could have been done to save this poor bloke here, but it's just that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. And here's Herschel Green, not fat and beardless as he is in the show. He is quite skinny. He looks like an old Rick from the show, don't you reckon? An old Rick. I know, maybe that's how they make him look in the comics. That's what I reckon is happening. That's probably what he looks like in the comics. I was talking to a friend actually about this game, and he reads the comics regularly, and he reckons that they should incorporate Lee and Clementine into the comics, which is interesting to me because I've only played through a couple of the episodes so far because the rest aren't out yet, but they are pretty good characters, and I suppose it would be pretty interesting if they were incorporated into the comics or even the show. Would be a pretty big thrill for the gaming fans, I suppose. So as you can see here, you do get to walk around, you get to talk to people, and we've skipped ahead. You've been kicked off the farm, and you're now in a pharmacy, which seems to hold some significance to your character Lee. I won't say what, because that's the whole fun of the game, no spoilers. But yeah, it holds significance to Lee, and you're here with a bunch of other survivors in the town where Lee's family is meant to live. And I probably just yeah. And you help the other survivors do a few things, and it helps you advance through his story. And yes, that there is Glenn from the TV show, the fast kid, the fast Asian man, Glenn. So yeah, you have seen a few characters from the show, and it's a pretty dark, emotional game. Like at this part, this Christian woman is infected that you've come across, and she wants to shoot herself, and you basically get to choose whether to let her shoot herself or not. I chose to let her shoot herself because I didn't want to bring her with us in case it would cause problems later on, so call me cold-hearted. That's what I did. I would have let her shoot herself too. Shut up, CD Steve. But yeah, so you get in the car, drive home, blah, blah, blah. He's all sad because someone he didn't even know shot themselves. I suppose the tragedy in real life would happen a bit like that. So yeah, I hope I've given you a good dynamic of what this game is and what you can do and how it goes. As I said, I would recommend buying it. It's good for the money. It's a huge game for the money. It's just amazingly large. And yeah, if you're a Walking Dead fan of the show or the comics, it definitely brings some hidden cookies, let's say, into the storyline that you might not have even fathomed before. And there are some epic sequences like this one here, the old pharmacy showdown nearing the end of episode 1. It gets your heart racing a bit. There are some bits that just scare the shit out of you. They just make you jump, which I love when games when something pop out and bam, I think it's brilliant. But yeah, that's the end of episode 1. As I said, if you would like me to put up another episode, let me know in a comment. Like, subscribe would really be helping me out just a whole lot, and I remember those who were good to me. I hope I've entertained you enough, and yeah, I hope I've got you off, baby. And on leaving, let me say my name, bitch.